there are differences. There will be difference right now because it will open only one window. Okay, when compared to remote control usually opens two windows. One is for test runner and the other one is where the test case is executed actually. Now in this WebDriver we have only one window open, and you have a text called WebDriver which is there in status bar of Firefox. Okay, and the server is also not started. Which means WebDriver executes the server by itself and calls our tests and executes those. Okay, so it gets more easy to have a WebDriver script than a remote control script, because you need to take care of more things in remote control than WebDriver. It automatically executes, configures the script for the server, Selenium server. Let it execute. Execution anyway is going to be same. All the commands are going to be same. So by the time it gets executed, the method is similar with respect to remote control. We have the same @test annotation here. Public void test adv search throws exception, and you have a set of commands which is entirely different from remote control script. You have a set of commands in WebDriver to execute the same script with an entirely new set of commands. Now the first line which says driver, okay, all the lines uses the same object which was created right here. In the 20th line I see an object which was created from Firefox driver. Firefox driver is the one which is being used now. Okay, so an object is created for Firefox driver and it is being used in my @test annotated method. Driver.get base URL. Okay, compare this one now. We are saying to open the base URL like this in remote control. Okay, we have passed it right here, and we are saying like in the 19th line we say like selenium.open default.php. The test was complete. The test just completed. Let us browse the results a moment after seeing this. So selenium.open this PHP page. Okay, so but I'm coming back to WebDriver. In WebDriver I'm saying something like driver.get base URL, which is a variable which holds the value http://examples.codecharge.com, and you have a concatenation operator. Right here, plus symbol, addition symbol is there, which adds up the exact page to the base URL. So when these two things go together, I get a total URL, examples.codecharge.com/store/default.php. So that page gets opened right here. Okay, and the next line, I'm coming back to remote control. It simply says selenium.click is equal to search, which means there is a page which has been loaded. Find an object, and its type is a link. It is going to be a link object, and it bears the name search. Okay, that is what this command says. Now let me come back to WebDriver. Here it is a little bit different and it is a little bit complex. Driver.findElement. Find element is a method which takes the parameter as, okay, I have this by parameter through which I am passing find an element which bears the link text, which has the link text as search. Okay, find an element which has the link text as search. If you find that, .click. Okay, driver.find an element which bears the name called search and click that item. Next line. It tries to choose the category. Okay, it selects it selects the programming as category from category ID drop down list. Okay, and next one, we type something into the category. We type something into the category. We say something like driver.findElement, which bears the name as s underscore keyword. Find the text box and clear the contents if there are any contents already. Okay, and pass the value as HTML. Okay, like that all the text boxes has been manipulated. Okay, now after that drop downs, and right here there is a Boolean method. Right here there is a Boolean method in which I'm verifying if something is existing or not. I'm verifying if something exists or not using an XPath. Okay, if it is there, I'm saying print the search result value. Print the search result value, which is anyway going to be true or false. Okay, like this, the WebDriver code is written for the same test case. Okay, it will look a bit complex. As I said earlier, the API, WebDriver API, is a bit complex, but it adds more advantages. Okay, now I'm going to have one more WebDriver script now. I'm going to have one more WebDriver script created right now. Before that, is this clear till this step? Can we proceed to the next step? Okay. Do I see hands rising? Can you please raise your hand? Is this clear? Can we proceed to the next step? Okay, thank you. Thanks for your response. But you may also ask questions. Please ask questions. That increases the learning. Okay, I strongly advise you to ask questions. That is how we learn. Now, as I told you, I'm in need of creating one more WebDriver case. I'll say these are the test cases which are already recorded. I'm choose cat link, open. This is very simple compared to the last one. Exporting now. File, export test case, JUnit WebDriver, select cat link.java. It is entirely my naming convention, but naming convention has to be followed strictly. Okay, through which we can trace back whatever we have done. So I'm naming it as search and click. I'm sorry, I did not name it. Select cat link. Okay, I named it as select cat link. Now the same process. I need to get the code. To my Eclipse. Going to create a new class file. Select cat link. Pasting the code right now. I do not advise you to copy the entire code and paste it in your Java file. Okay, try to do it like this. Take whatever you need, but do not copy everything. So copy everything inside this. Control A and Control I, which formats my code. Okay. Now changing the test case to a testng. Changing the test case to a testng test case. I'm taking out my JUnit right here in the 5th line. See, last time we took out the line and we created a new line, but right now in this new test case I'm modifying it. I'm modifying it to a new thing. Test ng dot annotations dot star. The moment I do that, I'm getting two errors. I'm getting two errors for at before and at after. I'll say at before method and at after method. Okay, save. Okay, good. So right now there are two test cases using Firefox driver. Let me close my existing Firefox windows. This is a simple code when comparing to the last one. Now the next thing I need to do is I want to have these test cases, these WebDriver test cases executed with testng.xml document. I want to have these test cases executed from testng.xml document. Before that I made a mistake in my naming convention. I wanted all my WebDriver cases to be suffixed by WD, but this one I left it. But right now I'm going to modify it. I'm going to modify the name. I'll say, where is rename? By clicking that I'll type F2, okay, and I will add WD to it, okay, and I have checked update references. The update references checkbox is enabled, which means wherever the class name which needs to be changed will be changed automatically. Do not forget to select that whenever you are making modifications in a class file. Finish. Done. Right? Basic Java terminology is that you need to have the same name as the file name, okay, for class name. Saved. Everything is saved. As decided, let us have these two test cases, these two WebDriver test cases executed from testng.xml document. I am taking out this and I am naming it as adv search wd. Select cat link wd. Save. Going to execute testng.xml. Run as testng suite. A single window got opened. In this window, all the test cases, right now two test cases, will be executed. Let it execute. There is no test runner here. Okay, there is no test runner here. Only one window gets opened. No need to start the Selenium server by ourselves. Okay. The moment I say right click testng.xml and executes, it executes everything. Okay. Seems good, right? let me go to my notepad and summarize. Export Selenium IDE test case from. Notice the difference which is happening in the background. One class file has been executed completely. Okay, another class file is started executing. Okay, Firefox window closed and reopened again, which means that one class file executed and another class file has started its execution. Exporting, I'm coming back to notepad, summarizing what we have seen now. Exporting Selenium IDE test case from, exporting Selenium IDE test case as a WebDriver script, or I'll say WebDriver Java file. This is core Java and not JavaScript, as we all know. Once I do that, I'm moving the code to Eclipse project. Okay, and then take out JUnit and configure the test case, or I'll say configure the Java class for testng environment. Okay, once you do that, execute. Okay, and with respect to testng.xml, add the WebDriver test cases to testng.xml document and execute. This is what happened now. Now there is one failure. Let us see what it is. I'm going to test output and say index, say allow blocked content. Okay, one test has been executed. Time is this. Node methods. Tear down is failed. In advanced search, tear down is failed. See how it displays an error. In one of the class file, okay, a method is failed. So past are these two things. Now let me go back to the tear down method. In which thing is displayed failed. Okay, ADV search WD, there is a failure in tear down. In tear down it fails. Yes, it will fail because we have added a verification string. That verification fails. Okay, I'll say I do not want to have this verification now. I'll save this. I do not want to have this verification point now. So in after method, which means in tear down method, I have only driver.quit. Do not perform any verification there, only quit the server, as I have my test case completed in this part of code. Okay, so far so good. Now we have done this last line. Now the next thing I want to do is I want something to be executed parallelly. I want to have parallelly running test cases. Okay, I'm bored of executing everything sequentially. I want to have parallel execution. So let us modify this code. With respect to parallel execution. As I say parallel execution, there are going to be multiple tests. Because only if you have multiple tests you can have a parallel execution in place. Okay. Now for that, test 1. Okay. I'm going to copy this whole thing and paste it again, as I'm creating one more test. I'll say test 2. I'm taking out the first method from here, and I'm taking out the last class from here. Let me take out the groups. Right now I have two tests. I have two tests inside my suite. Okay, the coding which forms from 4th line through 17th line is test 1. The coding which is formed in between 19th through 25th line is test 2. So I have two things now. I want to have a parallel execution now. So what I'm going to do is I'll add more parameters. To my suite. Okay. 2 more parameters are added to the suite tag. Parallel is equal to tests. In that parameter I'm passing an argument called tests, which means that make the tests as parallel execution, and thread count is equal to 2. Okay, creates 2 Firefox instances. Thread count is equal to 2 creates 2 Firefox instances. The code is saved. I'm going to start the testng XML document. See, all these things are possible only if we have a testng.xml document in place. Okay, right click testng.xml and say run as and say testng. Okay, see the differences clearly. Now you will see 2 Firefoxes executing both the test cases simultaneously. I do not want to waste my time now. So both the test cases are executed simultaneously, not sequentially. So one Firefox window, see, another Firefox window has got opened. There are 2 Firefoxes which are running, which enables us to do parallel execution. Okay, let it complete the execution. The server is a bit slow, that is why the page is not loading fast. One window got opened. One window got opened. Is my voice clear to you all? Is my voice audible? Please raise your hand. And are you able to view the screen properly? Good. Thank you. Thanks for your response. Thank you. So you may ask questions if you have any. As I said earlier, I strongly advise you to have questions. Only by asking why we will learn more. test cases are executed simultaneously. Let us summarize the points. Say added two more parameters in suite tag, okay, namely parallel and thread count. Notice the power of open source framework. This is the power of open source framework. We are able to have more technologies in a single place, and we are able to have the things we need. Now, parallel param is passed with the value of tests. Okay. Thread count param is passed with value of 2, which means open 2 Firefox instances. You can have many number of Firefox instances open with respect to the value you give. Always it is with respect to your system resources. Okay, you need to have the perfect system resources to have this kind of framework. Okay. Let me save this notes. Let me save this notes. 5th May 2014. The server is a bit slow. So next thing, the moment this test completes, let me close this notepad as I do not require it anymore. Next thing, when this test completes, we are going to see Chrome driver. Okay, we have used Firefox driver. What happens if we are in need of having another browser to execute? Till now Firefox is the only thing which we saw. How to have Chrome in place and get it up and running. Okay, now the test cases are complete. Okay, it says failures 1 and total executions were 2. Let me go to the test output directory where I can find the results. I'll say allow blocked content. So test advanced search had a problem. It says no such element exception. This may be a problem of the page did not load it properly, because we already had these test cases executed. Okay, so it says that it is unable to locate an element. Command duration or timeout was 135 seconds. It waited for a long time. Okay, it waited for a long time though, and it came out with an error. Fine. Error or passed, we are just learning through this. Okay. Now, in chronological view, I'm able to see what are all the methods which are passed and what are all the failed methods with a cross mark, and how long it took to execute. Okay, how long it took to execute. How many milliseconds. They are in thousands, which means they are almost seconds. Okay. Good. Parallel execution is passed. Okay, parallel execution we are able to do, and we are able to get results for that. Good for us. Let me close this window. And let us try to have Chrome driver in place. Let us try to have Chrome driver in place. To have Chrome driver, to use Chrome driver, I'll say to use Chrome driver, you need to download with respect to your OS, from all the, you can choose any of the zip file which is displayed right here with respect to your OS and architecture and system architecture. Okay, I choose Win32 as I'm having a Windows operating system. You can choose with respect to your OS and architecture. Now I'll copy this URL and send it in chat. Okay, you all will receive this URL in chat. You can use this to download the Chrome driver. Okay, Chrome driver when downloaded looks like this. Okay, what you are seeing in my computer, it displays a name of Chrome driver underscore Win32. This is how the downloaded file looks. Okay, I'm getting into it. Okay, the moment I open the zip file, I'm able to see an exe file, Chrome driver.exe. This one got extracted like this. Okay, this one got extracted like this. Once I extract this, I want to use this in my program. Okay, the ultimate aim of downloading this Chrome driver is to have this in my program. So I'm getting back to my Java file. These two things has to use Chrome now. What I'm planning is these two WebDriver has to use Chrome right now. Okay, now let us do one thing. So Chrome driver as a exe file, it needs to be imported into my program. Okay, it needs to be imported into my program. Okay, for that I'm going to have these two lines right here. Okay, these two lines right here, or let me have it here. Okay, I'm taking out my Firefox driver. So in this line, in setup method, I'm saying system.setProperty WebDriver.ChromeDriver, which is present in this particular directory. You have to provide the exact file location, file path to this. It has to be passed as a parameter to this setProperty method. In 22nd line, it displays an error. Okay, so when I put my mouse pointer over that error, it gives me quick fixes. One of the most important quick fixes I can do is import Chrome driver. Okay, from the 5 quick fixes, I'm choosing the first one, import Chrome driver. The moment I chose the quick fix, it added the 9th line. That is what the most fascinating features in Eclipse. It gives me more tips, which eases my automation. Okay, so new Chrome driver the error has been lifted. So this has been added. The 9th line has been added. I do not require this Firefox driver anymore. Okay, so I'm commenting that. Saved. I'm going to execute this single test case first to see how it looks. When it gets executed through Chrome. I'll always study if this is executing correctly or not, or else I can go for any other method. Bingo, it opens Chrome and executes our test case. Right, it opens Chrome and executes our test case. Let us wait for the execution to complete, and then we will have both the test cases running in Chrome driver. Is this clear? Can you all raise your hands? Do you have any problem understanding this? Can we proceed to the next step? Please raise your hand based on your input. This training will be optimized. Good. Thank you. Thanks for the response. Thank you. Now, it will make us wait for a long time as the server is slow. We cannot help it.